Hello guys and welcome back to another video, and as you can see, today it will be a little bit different as we'll be predicting the next games and the winners of the next ties in the Champions League. I'm a really big fan of football. I closely watch several games by a day, and the Champions League is being really crazy, and we have several surprises in the round of 16. And let's go one by one of the clubs that I will think will win the ties. First, we have PSV Arsenal. I think this is more close than people actually think, due to several factors. One, Arsenal is not really a team suited for Champions League. Like, they don't have the experience and they usually bottle in the later stages of the brackets as we go further in the Champions League. But this Arsenal is a bit different. I think the way that Arsenal are playing currently is better suited to uh, knockout ties, and this helps them a lot because they play like a really clinical football and a really practical football, or when they win like a game by 1 or 2 nil and they just then defend. We saw that versus City and other clubs in the Premier League. And I think in the Champions League, that style of play might help them. So they might actually go further than we think. But now we have PSV, and PSV is actually crazy. They have been doing a really great job in the latest few years. Peter Bosch actually knows what he's doing, as he's managed a really big team. Frankie, not Frankie, Luka de Jong is really been great. And also I have to shout out Perisic. That guy had like a reborn from nowhere. He had like a really tough career in the latest years, and now he's just really been flourishing in PSV. And the game that he did versus Juventus was something else. So it's really a close tie. I don't know if PSV has enough to handle it. It will matter the first game if they actually manage to hold the tie, because if they don't at the Emirates, I think Arsenal will get it. I will put Arsenal to go through, but it will depend if Arsenal has that pragmatic setup that I talked just about to go further, because I can see PSV wins this tie pretty easily if Arsenal disrespect PSV. Now Real Athletic. This is a tough one. If you would ask me 2 weeks ago, I would say Atletico Madrid. Like, Athletic are in a really good form. They started really poorly this season, but the latest months have been really great for Athletic. They are now currently a contender for La Liga. Like, I think they are at 1 point of the top, and Barcelona and Real Madrid are sharing the position of leader in La Liga, and they are really playing interesting football. Of course, Real Madrid are the dark praise of Athletic in the Champions League, and they always beat Diego Simeone's side in the Champions League. So, if I could ask like this question 2 weeks ago, I would say Athletic, but now I have to say Real Madrid, just from what I saw versus City. And yes, City is like struggling, but what Mbappe did was something crazy. He never played for Madrid like that ever since he appeared, and he's finally starting up showing his full prime as he showed it in PSG and also Monaco. And this Mbappe is crazy. He's really crazy, and if he keeps up this form, he will be able to reach the heights of Ronaldo. Again, he has to be a really regular, but he's starting to showing it. Again, if we see the Real Madrid in the league that has been struggling, I can see Atletico Madrid going through. But if we see this Real Madrid from a couple of days ago, like, no one can stop them. They are just like a team that at the Champions League they are another monster, another beast. But for now we have Real Madrid and Arsenal. I will put some surprises, by the way. Don't worry. So now we have PSG and Liverpool, and this is where I will put my first surprise. I will put PSG to go through. Why is that? And again, I'm a Liverpool fan, and it's hard to me put PSG to go. I'm putting PSG to go because Liverpool is currently dropping form, and it's important to notice that I'm considering this, considering the form they are, and Liverpool, like they draw to Everton, they draw to Aston Villa with really big misses from their strikers, and like I don't know, I'm just not feeling Liverpool. Like I think they will win the league and probably the Carabao Cup, but like versus a PSG that is now really getting on form. And again, PSG started really poorly, like Atletico, but currently PSG for me is like top four teams in the world at right now. Like only probably um just a few teams are bad. Probably Real and Leverkusen and Napoli are up there because Napoli is playing really crazy football. By the way, if you don't watch it, I recommend it. But currently, PSG is like a really crazy beast, and Osman Dembele, that guy has crazy numbers. I think he is currently the best player in form since the new year started, and he's just scoring after goal, 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 goal. And yes, we have Salah that has stats for a Ballon d'Or, yes. And I think this will be close by the neck. But like if Liverpool keeps on this bad form of results, like I don't see them going through versus PSG. Like if they show what they showed me, like in the previous year, I think they will go through. But if they keep on this moment of form, like PSG has everything to go through. Now for Club Brugge and Aston Villa, many people are considering an upset in here. I'm not. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not. For several reasons. If you watch the tie versus Bruges and Atalanta, you'll notice several things. Atalanta had a lot of injuries. That's a first thing you have to say. They have some main injuries that they had on some of their starter players. And also, they got a bit robbed in the first leg, where Bruges won with a penalty that shouldn't be a penalty. I'm not taking the merit of Bruges going through because they deserve that win at their home, but that penalty should have been given. And in the second leg, like Atalanta got really, really unlucky. Like Bruges score in the counter attack, but like Atalanta made so many shots to the post and then saves on the top of the line, and I'm like, Atalanta like did deserve to get a better result and at least go to extra time, but Bruges were just more efficient and pragmatic, and that's Champions League. But I don't see Aston Villa making the same mistakes. This Aston Villa is a team that is playing really good football. Atalanta was a team that was playing a good football. Don't get me wrong. 1 month they were playing, but these many injuries hurt them a lot. And Aston Villa doesn't have that problem. So I will see an Aston Villa being more pragmatic. You can say, but Club Brugge won versus Aston Villa in the league phase. Yes. Did you know how they won? It was that carry cut goal where Aston Villa player touched the ball in their own keeper zone because it was that thing that happened with Arsenal and Bayern last year, where the player, I think it was Saliba that touched the ball or Gabriel when it was for a goal field, and then it wasn't a penalty, but in that case they said it was a penalty, and then Bruce scored the penalty and they just won the game. But it was a game that Aston Villa wasn't really feeling it and has already qualified, so Aston Villa wasn't actually playing that game. But again, I could be wrong, but I think Aston Villa just has way more firepower than Atalanta. And for now, Aston Villa will pass to the quarter. Now you have the this side of the bracket. I will go from the bottom to the top. Inter Feyenoord. This is a tough one. Probably the toughest there is. Of these, all four, or all eight, I think this is the closest. Why is that? Inter, like Atalanta, is dropping a lot of form. If you watch Serie A, if you watch Inter games, Inter is like several Italian teams are currently dropping form, like Milan, Inter, Atalanta, also Juve, but Juve was like a mess since the start of the season. And I like this Inter team that was really good at the early of the season and also last season. It's just not feeling the same. They still have an amazing team, and if they manage to put their things together, they just completely can win versus anyone. But this Inter team, I really don't know. Versus a Feyenoord team that is really weird. Like this Feyenoord team, if we go check the results, like they're a team that can have really amazing results and then like results that you can just explain. Like the game versus Milan, they did a crazy results in terms of the aggregate, and they did deserve to go through. But then you go to the Champions League, and you see they lost 6-1 at Lille for the last game, and they didn't have any men sent off. They just lost to Lille 6-1, and then they in the previous game they won versus Bayern 3-0 at home, and you have to say what is going on. Then they won versus Benfica at their home 4-0, for example. But then they lost to Salzburg in their own home 3-1. So, like, this is a team that is so inconsistent. They go to 8 to 80. And I'm like, if I get the best Feyenoord in here, I can see them going through. But because of these inconsistencies, I have to put Inter because I don't know what to expect. Like, I'm it's really tricky. Like if we see the best Feyenoord, I believe they can go. But because they are so just a volatile team, I don't believe that they'll go through. Bayern Munich versus Leverkusen, I'm gonna be totally honest. I believe in Leverkusen in this. Like if you watch the last Der Klassiker between Bayern and Leverkusen, you notice that Bayern only did one shot in 90 minutes, and that shot was at the 80 minutes. Leverkusen was all over Bayern. Yes, it was in their home, and Bayern was defending for a tie because now they probably will win Bundesliga, but still. Doing one shot versus Leverkusen, and Leverkusen could have scored so many times. I don't know what was the XG of. Let me check. I probably can check what was the expected goals for that game. Yeah, Leverkusen had an expected goal of 2.19 that game versus an expected goal of Bayern of 0.05. That's really poor performance by Bayern. And yes, they are a Champions League team, but like I don't see them changing their mindset from this last time. I just don't. So that's why I put Leverkusen. Dortmund versus Lille. I'm gonna be quick here. I don't believe in this Dortmund team. I'm just don't like they have a new manager with Niko Kovac, and I saw what they did versus Sporting. Yes, they won 3-0, but it was versus a Sporting team with many injuries. They currently have 9 main injuries in their squad. It's like a record for their club, and like Dortmund did deserve to go through, but the way that they are playing with so many errors in the defense area, I think Lille will make probably it's a small upset, but I think Lille has a really stronger squad and I think they can manage to go through. Now for the last time we have Benfica versus Barcelona. And me being a Benfica fan, I want to really be biased here, and I hate what happened in the last time when Benfica lost 4-5 with what should have been a disallowed goal by Rafinha in the last minute due to the the controversy that happens. But I have to be honest, and I have to put Barcelona going through. Like it's a game that if we have the best Benfica, and Benfica is a team like Feyenoord. They can have crazy results, like beating Barcelona, almost beating Barcelona, and then beat Atletico Madrid 4-0, and then lose to Feyenoord 4-0 at home. Or I think it was 3-0 at home. So you just don't really know what to expect from this team. They're a team that you can have the best team of the world, or then the team that can't even beat a championship team. So like you don't know what to expect. And especially because it is in the two ties. If it was on one tie, I would go for Benfica because Barcelona is also a really volatile team, and you don't know what Barcelona you can get. But because it is on two ties, I think Barcelona will edge Benfica just slightly and go through. And this is the last eight that we have in the quarterfinals, and we have really big games. And I'm gonna go from the easiest. I think Barcelona will go through. Like they have a really easy path compared to another ones to go to the semis. I think Lille could maybe cause an upset. They are like a stable squad than Benfica. Like, and if Benfica can maybe make an upset, Lille can absolutely make an upset. They have Jonathan Bambus is in crazy form, and like if Barcelona don't and if Barcelona disrespect this Lille side, they will be eliminated. But I will put Barcelona just over because I believe that they will go through. But again, if we're gonna see a surprise, I think it will be from this side because it depends on how Barcelona will play. If we have the worst Barcelona that we've seen in La Liga sometimes, we can see a team like Lille or Benfica going through the quarters and then one of those two make an appearance on semis. Or even Dortmund. Like Dortmund is a team that could appear from nowhere, like last season in the Champions League. From Leverkusen Inter, gonna be straightforward. I think Leverkusen will really go far in this Champions League. They are a really crazy team. They are not as consistent as last time, but they still play a really beautiful football. And Xavi Alonso knows what he's doing. Florian Wirtz is becoming probably for me the best attacking midfielder in the world. For me, it's him. And I don't know. I think the Leverkusen side has something special on it. Arsenal, Real Madrid. I'm just gonna go Real Madrid. I like. I can see Arsenal eliminating Real Madrid in those step corners, but like Real Madrid is just so much history. I really think that Real Madrid will win versus Arsenal, and like maybe the next series will attack um, Arsenal in this side. But okay, Paris, PSG, and Aston Villa. So these will be close because these two teams are teams that like to attack and they play really good football at the moment. I really want to put Aston Villa going through. I think they did deserve a lot of respect, but currently this PSG side are one of the best in Europe, and I'll put PSG just over it. Now, these are really tough tries to solve, and I really think like I really want to put PSG, but in Real Madrid versus PSG, Real Madrid always gets over the edge. But I don't know. I really don't know. Because like Mbappe versus PSG, like this PSG actually is starting working without Mbappe, and that's something that surprises me. So I really don't know if like a team without a star, without a major star, can beat a team of so many stars. It would be like poetic in some way. So like this is basically the game of the full stars and the game of the team that has the solidarity. And for now, I will put Real Madrid. But if PSG, and again, I'm putting this as a surprise because in normal ways, Liverpool will go through. I'm putting this as a surprise. I actually believe in PSG a lot because of from my watching. But I think if PSG manage to go through here, they can go all the way, but it depends on this game. If they manage to go past Liverpool, I think they can maybe reach a final. But for now, I will put Real Madrid. Now, Leverkusen versus Barcelona. This is a really tough one. And I'm actually going to be a bit crazy in here, and I'll put my biggest surprise of them all Leverkusen in the final. Why is that? Well, if you watch Barcelona, you know that they have really bad defending at the moment. Like they really like to have a high offside line, and that can really be abused by teams like Benfica or even Lille or even Feyenoord that have this style of playing in the counter attack. And Leverkusen really likes to do that as well because they are a team that want to attack and control the ball and do the tiki taka. But Xavi Alonso already showed us that if they have to play counter, they will. And I think because of this adaptive that he has as a coach, I think Leverkusen will manage to just get over the edge with Barcelona, just slightly. I think this will be a difference in coach. I think Xavi Alonso currently will beat Hansi Flick just by a bit, but this is a tie that can go either way. And now we have Real Madrid Leverkusen. Like we can guess Real Madrid always here, but Leverkusen never been in a Champions League final since 2002, and this is a re-edition of the 2002 Champions League final between Leverkusen and Real Madrid. Now, will we go for Real Madrid or Leverkusen? That's really a hard one. Like, I'm gonna be a bit biased and I will go for a Leverkusen win. But I it's really hard for me to put Leverkusen in. I really want to put Real Madrid, but I will go for Leverkusen just because I don't think Real Madrid will have enough fuel in their tanks. Just slightly. Like, as the way that I'm seeing Leverkusen picking up the pace right now, they're winning games after games, and they did drop a few points in the early of this season. But again, I'm seeing a different Leverkusen now, like I saw last time. But this time, it is the opposite. Like Leverkusen was losing gas at this part of the season. For me, they are gaining gas now. It's the opposite. They are gaining more momentum, more momentum. I think they have like a really tough way to the final. Like they have to beat all these major teams. But if there is one team that can do that, or from all these ties to beat all these giants, it's Leverkusen. Like probably Atletico Madrid can do the same, but Atletico Madrid is not a team that inspires the things that we see. Like we don't believe that an Atletico Madrid can pull this, but we can believe that Leverkusen can do this. And if they go through here to the final, I think they'll have just that bit of luck that usually Real Madrid has in the types of competitions to edge it. But this is my opinion. It's a bit unpopular. I know most people will probably go for Real Madrid, but it's just an opinion. Please tell me what you think as I will end this video in here. If you like this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Please also leave your opinion in the comments as I would love to reply and discuss this with you as I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.